abundance. It's Brother Polight. Let me here just to build with you, brothers and sisters, because I just had an interesting conversation with one of the kings I rode with about me never having a job since about age 13, going into 14. I only had a job for about 3 months my whole life. I just want you guys to think about that. I only had a job for about 3 months in my whole life. 3 months. Okay? So I never really understood the concept of waiting a whole week to get my money. I always understood the concept, get my money by the day. And that's where we got to start going into that direction. I was blessed in many ways. I was blessed to have dropped out of school. I was blessed to not have my mother and my father not in my life, because a lot of that sometimes builds a certain level of complacency. Okay? You become complacent. I'm blessed to have been, or I'm blessed to be autodidactic. Okay? And to be autodidactic, that just simply means to learn outside the convention of a classroom forum. Self-taught. Now, by all means, I'm not saying that school is not good, but remember, they give you information, meaning information. And life forced me to get outformation. Okay? Life forced me to get outformation. You walking with me? And so, taking all of that into consideration, it's the outformation that put me in a space mentally that contrasts immensely to what everybody else is doing, because everybody else was always in formation, and I tend to be one that's out formation, and that blessed me. My ignorance, to a large extent, blessed me with the ability to thrive in society when the conventional approaches were not made available onto me. Doing good, King. So I need you guys to take that into consideration. Peace to the King. Peace, God. Yeah. So I just need you guys to understand that in order to thrive in society today, you got to be in a space of affirmation. You got to say your affirmations and be in a state of affirmation. That's how you're going to thrive. That's how you're going to thrive in society today. Okay? So when I come up with the credit restoration program and I say, hey, this is you investing in yourself. First of all, that's affirmation, because most of us are not used to investing in ourselves. We get nervous at the very thought of spending our money for the opportunity to get more money. But how many of you are nervous about spending your money to get nothing back in return? You spend your money on sneakers, get nothing back in return. You spend your money on TVs, you get nothing back in return. You spend your money on coats, you get nothing back in return. You spend your money on baby showers, on holidays such as Christmas and Thanksgiving, you get nothing back in return. But then when it's time to spend money on yourself to get something back in return, not only does it scare you, it scares your friends and family. Everybody will tell you, be careful. You want to make sure you don't lose out. But immediately, from the time you bought your cars, from the time you bought your clothes, from the time you indulged in holidays that have nothing to do with your race, culture, or identity, you immediately lost and never felt the way. But you grow nervous at the very notion that you might be putting money into yourself for the purposes of getting money back out. And that in itself tells you the difference between information and outformation, because you are in alignment with the way that society taught you. The alignment for society is to know very little about credit, very little about real estate, very little about insurance. 3 major mediums of amassing wealth and employing wealth stewardship, meaning generational wealth. So it actually takes somebody who created a cultural development outformation to educate or share information, or pardon me, it takes a person who created a culture out of outformation to share data with those in alignment with information. Like even my complexion is part of the outformation. My lack of classroom education is a part of the outformation. My lack of having a mother or father to rely upon to know where to live. I never had the opportunity to be like, I could stay in my mama's house, stay in my grandma's house, stay in my father's house. My father left me when I was 8, on my 8th birthday. I met my mother when I turned 17, and she died the week I met her. I had 6 more days with her from the day that I met her. So I knew my mother for 7 days, and she died the week I met her. I never had the comfort of living in someone else's house because I was a minor and they would take care of me. I didn't have it for that long in my life. My grandmother did do what she could, my mother's father, until she was put in a nursing home. Her home got foreclosed upon and I was homeless. Okay? This is real talk. And so like they say, what don't make you break you, right? And I was broken for a long period of time. I didn't always have it. I made a great deal of errors. Trust me. Okay? You know, even when people talk about my situation and, oh, you're going to be locked up and this, that, and the third, that's coming from a culture shock of people not knowing how that particular culture is. But you got to keep in mind, I don't carry myself as a gangster, but I can tell you I was subject to more violent circumstances than the average person that's trolling me on the internet. I was locked up in Rikers Island, the largest prison colony in the world, for attempted murder. It's different when you're in an environment amongst people who know they're never getting out of prison, or an environment where people are doing relatively life sentences, enough years for you to quit on yourself. People don't know what it's like when you have to sign a paper saying where you want the rights to your body to go because you could die in prison. I had to sign that. See, but I don't carry myself like someone who's been to prison before. I don't carry myself like someone who's been in the largest prison colony in the world, Rikers Island. I don't carry myself like someone who's locked up for attempted murder. Since a young child, I don't carry myself like that because that's not the energy I want to magnetize. I'm called polite because people always say, man, Brother Polight can be cursed at, yelled at, screamed at, and he'll say that's that man's right to carry himself in an effeminate manner because I understand the lack of a male presence in your life. Whether they were present physically, whether they were absent mentally or absent physically, I understand the effeminate behavior of black men who express themselves emotionally like females when they're angered. I get it. So the stuff that people do on the phone and the stuff that people do on the internet, my grandmother always taught me, never say anything to anybody that makes you have to walk around paranoid because of something you expressed. So I never, not even to the most disrespectful person, will I say something that'll make me like, damn, I've just motivated this person who wants to throw their life away, or I just motivated this person who actually has no plan, because there's nothing more dangerous than a man without a plan. And there's a bunch of men on the internet right now that are lacking a plan, and that's why they're endangering their lives. And that's why they're volunteering people like you looking to find themselves. They're volunteering you guys to help them throw their life away. I know the sound of a man that doesn't have a plan. I know the sound of an uncreative man whose only conception, only thing they can conceive of doing to make money is trolling people online, gossiping and lying about other people because they fail themselves, because they haven't tapped into a potential to realize their own creativity, that they can do something more productive with their time than to attempt to make an expense at other people's hell. When you see people without a plan and you see people without the creativity, you stay out their way because they want to use you as a medium to further destroy themselves or propel themselves temporarily. In that moment of intemperance in which you indulge and you engage them, you would fail. There's nothing more dangerous than to engage a brother or a sister without a plan. That's dangerous. Let me see if I can go in the shadows a little bit so I can see. I need to be able to, I can barely see. Yeah. feel me? There's nothing more dangerous than talking to somebody without a plan. I can't see nothing. But I hope you guys can see me. Listen, I'm trying to see if I can, part of the word try. Look. Man, alright. This might work a little bit. You feel me? There's nothing more dangerous than to entertain a fucking fool. So you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com when you're ready to invest $2,000 into yourself to get access to anywhere between 50 grand to 300 grand from the credit restoration. We'll remove negative items off your report, add positive items to your report, boost your credit scores, and leverage the results so that you meet the criteria to be approved of anywhere between 50 grand to 300 grand being our goal. You get a caseworker that'll be assigned to you that's going to deal with your credit exclusively and immediately, and you'll also have me at your disposal as your mentor. The most important part of the mentorship is the mentorship, because what I'll do is give you a plethora of ideas how you may want to invest the monies to grow it into a larger amount. Keep in mind I'm a 9th grade dropout, so anything I share with you, go get advice or an overview of what I said to see if it's compatible with your ideals, your goals, and make sure that there's no, it's consistent with the law. Because I may be in error since I'm not certified, but I do have the right to share wealth building stratagems that I personally employed. I have the right to share that with you all. But just to be safe, double check with a CPA, accountant of some sort, financial advisor, tax specialist. Just double check everything I share with you during the mentorship to make sure everything works out and information is updated. And again, you pay $2,000 and we will work to get you access to anywhere between 50 grand and 300 grand that you don't have to pay back. We'll help you get funding for your business. Very important. A lot of you have LLCs and all sorts of other types of business, sole proprietorships, whatever you want to call it. You guys have absolutely no business funding, but you have businesses. That's crazy. All right, so we'll remove negative items off your credit report, add positive items to your credit report, boost your credit scores, and leverage our results so that you can meet the criteria to be approved. Our goal being anywhere between 50 grand to 300 grand that you don't have to pay back. And you also get a caseworker designated for you exclusively and immediately for your credit needs. You also have me at your disposal as your mentor, whereby I give you a wide range of ideas how you may want to grow the monies and amass wealth. You'll also have the website where you can track your results, and you can add notifications to your phone. So that way, when you add notifications to your phone, you can be made abreast in real time when we're sending things out on your behalf and when correspondences are coming back in return from that which we sent out on your behalf. So offering you notifications for your transparency, offering you the website for your transparency to check your results, see the deleted items as you remove them, the positive items as we add them. Making sure you have a caseworker that deals with your credit exclusively and immediately. Making sure I'm your mentor and prepare you so the funds you get, you won't be at loss, because it's very easy for us to help you get 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand, and you squander it inadvertently, not on purpose, but because of a lack of knowledge and business plan. It's very easy. Don't let that amount of money trick you into thinking something will just manifest. It's great to start studying what you will do in the interim of the process, so when you get the monies, you can only go forward. Work your way into being a millionaire, work your way into being a multi-millionaire. Don't think that this is too big or above or beyond you. Because the biggest problem our people have when they hear these numbers is to believe that they don't deserve those numbers, and it's impossible for people like us to access those numbers, when in fact, insurance, credit, and real estate are the top 3 means for people amassing wealth. It's been like this for quite some time. And these are the 3 major things that you're not taught in school from pre-K to 12th grade for 14 years that you go to school. 14 years of us going to school. We don't learn about no real estate. We damn sure don't learn about insurance, and we definitely don't learn nothing about credit for 14 years of going to school. But then once you graduate at the age of 17 or 18, presumably, you're expected to be able to thrive as an adult. You're expected to be able to get a home or get an apartment, have thriving bank accounts. No one expects you to have a business, though, by the time you graduate from high school, which is insane. It's absolutely insane that people graduate high school and have absolutely no business. All they have is a diploma to their name. See, that to me is crazy. That to me is crazy. But by the time I was of age to graduate, which I didn't graduate from high school at all, I'm a dropout. By the time I was of age to graduate high school, I already had 2 thriving bookstores. And by the time I was about 21, 22, I had about 4 bookstores and 1 restaurant. Those of you that lived in Brooklyn would know I had an Alkaline vegan restaurant. I remember Brother A.A. Rashid used to come in and check me out, and I think one of the pills checked me out. Definitely Blue Pill checked me out at my bookstore. I think Red and Blue Pill came to my restaurant that I had in Brooklyn. But by the time I was like 21, 22, I had 4 bookstores and a vegan restaurant. But again, what would I know? I was just a high school dropout. But what I had to my advantage was my ignorance. Sometimes ignorance puts you at an advantage because all I had was Outformation, because like I told you, my mother wasn't around. She died the week I met her when I turned 17. I met her and she died 6 days. Okay? My father wasn't around. I'm finessing people by telling them that I didn't know my mom for a week. I only knew her for no more than a week in my life. Finessing people because my father left me on my 8th birthday. You see, what was ridiculous about our people, the effeminate behavior of these black men, they will go out their way to spook you about someone that's sharing motivational information. They will go out their way to deter you from listening to someone, but they'll never say, come where I'm at, I have something of value. Then you have the other effeminate black man that is soliciting, but because he feels like you're a threat to his solicitation, he'll attempt to tear you down because he's insecure, because his mind is so small. In a world filled with billions of people, he feels like he'll corner the market if he could destroy your business. Because he just feels personally, because his mind's so small and his world's so small, a lot of people get infatuated with my personality because they say, man, this Brother Polight is, for whatever reason, thriving and successful. And no amount of slander can have him canceled. No amount of accusations can have me canceled. You feel me? So they wind up going into bitch mode. Why are y'all still following him? Why are y'all still listening to him? In other words, it's a cry for, listen to me. Because what I got is better than him. But what I stand on is what I teach. I don't disrespect nobody. I don't call nobody's name out. I want you to earn your own viewership. So I don't call your name out. I let you be you. Even if a big part of you is talking about me. Because I know people get intoxicated by the views and they start really thinking they're getting views because people are interested in them. When in fact, they're getting views because they're talking about me. But on the other hand, I would never reduce myself to the level of mentioning no man's name, no matter how disrespectful they are. In fact, if you're disrespectful, I definitely won't mention your name. You gotta earn your credibility. I won't loan you anything. So I don't even take the time to investigate anything that people are saying about me. Well, that's not all the way true, because I got these lawsuits going on. So I did have to investigate some of the things from some people in particular, just so I can make an example out of them. But you'll see soon enough. And then I don't want to hear no, oh, he's snitching or he went to the white man, because what I did respectfully as a black man, I reached out directly to every brother and sister for them to cease and desist, and to also let them know, you might believe the things that you're saying, so let me inform you so you can know that you're misinforming people. And then I realized people were being disingenuous. They just want their views. They just want to make their sales. And they don't care about misinforming people about another black man's situation, even if it impacts his family or it could impact his business negatively. So once I reached out on record to every single body that was spewing lies about me, it's on record. I don't want to hear you went to the white man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But you know one thing about people though, I always say this, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, they'll still be bitching about me and I will still be on the way up. And you gotta ask people, if all you've ever had to offer people was negative comments in the chat section, and then your life is still the same 3-5 years from now, but mine is still ascending, even in my worst mode, even with the worst things ever said about me in my life, the worst things that anyone could ever say about another man, I'm still on ascension. I still manage to own several new homes, paid completely out. Okay? I still manage to make sure, in the event anything ever happens to me, that my family, my children, my wives all have homes and income to rely upon, so you never have to beseech the aid of another man or another woman or another employer, because I did what I was supposed to do. I stayed on the mission. So I'm talking to you guys about staying the course and staying on the mission and not allowing people to distract you, because I tell you, government agents are real. See, a lot of you don't know about the COINTEL program, the counterintelligence program, the covert operatives that are sent into our community to distract you and detour your attention, defer your attention to everyone else, because every time someone has something of meaning to offer you, they would rather distract you. And then when you start getting pulled into their world and their cipher, all they offer you is gossip and destructive, detrimental conversation. That should you consume it, you'll be wasting your life because you can't do nothing productive with it. But they will go out their way with nothing to offer you to tell you, don't listen over here. And then if you go to their page and say, well, since I'm not supposed to listen to him, let me see what you got to offer, all you see is brain dead material on their platform. So their whole purpose in life is to stop you from listening to me, and then after that, they have no purpose. Just think about the mentality of someone who lives their life like that. Just think about it. Go to anyone's page that talks negative about me and see what they offer. Go to my page. All I do is inspire you to work out. I inspire you to eat better. I inspire you to save your money. I inspire you to make investments. And whether you spend money with me or not, I say, man, if you could just qualify anything that I gave you for free to start the momentum of your wealth building or your health journey, then I've done my community a service. I always say, you don't have to purchase from me, but research what I share with you and start your progress. If I motivate you as a man or a parent, because you see what I do with my children. You see I'm homeschooled my children. You see I delivered my children. See, people want to talk about me if I wear a little European shirt here or European brand here. And that means they're more black power and black focused and black centered than me. But here I am. I don't send my children to the public school system. That's black power. I'm the teacher. My children aren't born in the hospital. They delivered by my hands. I cut the umbilical cord. I'm the first human being that held my child and gave them to the mother. That's black power right there. My women don't work for nobody else. They work for themselves through the education that I gave them to be self-employed and self-powered, empowered, so that way they don't even have to be my economic subject. They can leave whenever they feel it suffice to leave. They're not economic slaves of their man nor their employer. That's black empowerment. But let me wear one fucking t-shirt and that makes them more black than me. But they can work in a supermarket that sells cigarettes over the counter and sells swine to the community, but they're more black empowered than me because they want to look at a fucking Gucci shirt. And that's the end all. Because they wear somebody's t-shirt that was made in a Chinese warehouse, but they use a heat transfer paper and put their black name on the front of the shirt, and they're more black empowered than I am. The man who homeschools his children, the man who delivers his own children, the man who has his own businesses, the man who makes sure his women is self-employed, the man who makes sure that there's generational wealth for his children. No, they're more black empowered than I am because of a goddamn t-shirt they wear. You see what I'm saying? How we nitpick? Because I don't get mad at y'all when you work for the white man, because all the money you make for the white man working for him can never amount to the amount of t-shirts or sneakers that I ever wear. To any car that I ever bought. You work for him every freaking day of your life. You putting in more than 40 hours a week for this man. But you're more black empowered than me. But let me tell you, after 1 month of work for someone other than yourself and kind, nothing that I can buy in a whole year can amount to what you've done for another community, working for them for 1 month. But I don't knock you because I understand the circumstances that we are subject to as a people. But how dare people get on their high horse? And that's what I mean about so-called conscious people. You know what conscious people do in the community? Conscious people do this. They start eating right, and now they want to judge everybody. We got to have a conversation about this. So you don't drink no more, and you don't smoke no more, so you better than somebody because you don't drink and you don't smoke, so you want to pick out other people's flaws instead of respect the fact that everybody's moving at their own pace and everybody has the right to their evolution. But just because you made some changes in your life, now you could point the finger And this is why people don't want to be conscious no more. This is why people look down on the conscious community, because you Negroes get on your high horse when you make certain changes in your life, and now everybody supposed to change when you change. But your ass was once ratchet too, and I contend that you're probably still ratchet, because if you're going around judging other people because you made some changes in your life, you're not as conscious as you believe that you are either. You're not as conscious as you purport to be. Okay? You're not. So all this government does is make you, if I break down the science of broccoli, guess what? They freeze my freaking page. They slow down the amount of traffic comes. But if I was saying, denigrating things about my women, if I was to degrade my brothers out here and disrespect them the way they disrespected me, they'll never take my post down. They never tell me my post is a threat to anybody. All I got to do is say disparaging remarks about anybody of my race, and shit, I might get more views. But let me break down the science of insurance and how we can use that as a wealth building stratagem and mechanism to employ wealth stewardship or generational wealth. It's a 50-50 what happened to my video. This is why I spread my videos out. This is why sometimes I just show you me hanging out with my wives. This is why another instance I might show you me in the club. This might be another instance I might show you, hey, what kind of clothes I just bought. I spread it out. But the so-called conscious man, I want the old polite, but understand, this ain't my platform. This is a page on a platform. I don't run this platform. So I got to play by the rules of engagement. If my shit get too conscious, y'all ain't going to get access to the free information that I give. If my shit get too conscious. I don't even know who the fuck Billy Carson is. Am I copying him? I don't even know who that is. And I keep telling you guys, I don't watch other people. I really don't. All I do is read, study, and just thrive. Even if you see the type of exercises I be creating from the goddamn sky, it just be from creativity and just vibration. And guess what? I may not create it. Somebody else somewhere on another side of the world could have created it too. I just know my intelligence led me to the point of saying, this is my demonstration that I'm going to share. But man, y'all don't understand the pressure it is putting information out, man. Y'all don't understand the threat you get when you put out positive information. Y'all need to study the programs that exist to destroy the black community, and the programs that exist anytime black communities are thriving, and the people that they destroy that lead the motivation and inspire the esteem for people to mobilize effectively. Then when you turn around and you see the action against that person, contemplate. Is this one of those instances where the government may not be involved, or is it just a mere coincidence? And what you do, you judge a man by the body of his work, the content of his character, the energy he has put out throughout the years. That's what you do. Oh, no knock to the brother Billy Carson, whoever that is. No knock to him. I don't know. No knock to him. And if something sounds similar, that's a testament to great minds thinking alike. But I don't know whose son is. So I definitely don't have nothing disparaging to say about the brother. I just don't know who he is. A lot of times you guys tag people, you need to get on this guy's podcast or this guy's page. And I'm like, who's that? Yeah, say Polight, you should do a podcast. And I'm like, I don't got the time for it. But I would love to. But I like being consistent at whatever I do. So it's all good. Yeah, I'm, I don't know whose son is, but, blessings to him, and I hope he's doing a great job. Yeah, you go to Brother Polight whenever you're ready. It's $2,000 for the service, correct? brotherpolight45@gmail.com. But let's not stray away from the point. It's all about creativity, and it's all about outformation. You have information, you have outformation, and at most times, our greatest fault is information. We learn how to think uniformly by way of our oppressor. We learn how to speak, we learn how to think, we learn how to eat, we learn how to drink, we learn how to communicate, fellowship, break bread, and celebrate from the same oppressive force. That's information. So when someone comes with outformation, someone comes with that contrast, someone comes with something that just seems so different from the way you were accustomed to approaching economics, from the way you was accustomed to approaching culture, from the way you were accustomed to approaching learning. You detest it. You rebuke it. You rebuke the person of the same. Because we're used to information. We're not used to outformation. That's the problem. You feel me? Outformation, man. It's that outformation that's going to save you. It's always somebody who's thinking out the box. Someone who has a different perspective. That's the saviors. You know? I remember I was told in school, let's draw our own houses. Our dream house. I got the construction paper. I'm like, yo, miss, I need another construction paper. She like, here. I start drawing again. I'm like, I need another one. She said, you know, don't put no pressure on yourself. I said, no pressure. Boom. Started drawing again. Miss, can I get one more? What do you need another construction paper for? Just erase it. I'm like, why I got to erase? She's like, so what are you doing if you're not erasing? And I like, miss, I already drew 3 of my dream houses. I got 4. All we need is 1. I said I ain't never had 1 dream house in mind. I had 4. Shit. If I come up short 1, I got 3 more. You feel me? Shit. Reach for the stars, I come aside that, I got the sky. I ain't gonna tell somebody sky's the limit. I'm gonna reach for the motherfucking stars. Then you find out the stars that you think you see used to exist thousands of years ago. That's the light that's still traveling from there. Like, shit get deep. Shit get deep. So I get access to one of them stars. I'm light traveling. You know what I'm saying? I'm thousands of years ahead of the game. They say the speed of thought is about 24 billion miles per second. We don't think about more than one thought at the same time. We flash back and forth between the two intravenously. Like, let's put it together and let's make it make sense, people. If I really talk that talk, my shit would be shut down. That's why I just move a certain way. You just got to be able to pick your pockets and what I'm teaching to understand it applies to you. And when you hear me talking about other things, understand that sometimes it's socially relevant to other people and not to you. So you say, man, I used to follow this brother, but why he talking about this? Because that might be for the person presently prostituting themselves. That might be for the brother that's presently in a gang culture and he need to come out of it. I'm sharing information for everybody because I'm not above or beyond nobody that I communicate with. I'm not above or beyond nobody. I'm you and you are me. And anything you going through, I likely went through myself, if not even worse. So who am I to judge you? I ain't nobody to be judging nobody. And shit, I'm still working on myself. If I didn't feel there was work that needed to be done, I wouldn't be working out and training the way I do. If I didn't feel there was work that needed to be done, I wouldn't have the dietary regimen that I have. But if you're walking around here without purpose, then that means you're drinking anything. If you're walking around without purpose, that means you eat anything. Because when you have a purpose, you eat for purpose. And when you have a purpose, you drink for purpose. When you have a purpose, you study for purpose. Guess what? There's not enough time in the day for you to waste. So therefore, I can even argue with people. You know why? Because I got a regimen for thought and consciousness and education, for knowledge, that I can't afford to take too much time out of my day disagreeing with somebody who already woke up with the intention to disagree. Think about it. See, a boxer has to eat and drink so they can perform at the highest level, the optimal level, their most optimal level for a given event. But what I'm talking about, what is your life's purpose? See, the boxer he's gonna train for a month and a half to 2 months. He want to make sure he don't overtrain, but he's gonna train for about a month and a half to 2 months in preparation for his oncoming fight. But what are you training for in the world, in the game of life? You see, I need to have this mind, so I gotta drink things that cultivates my thinking. Okay? I need to eat foods that are associated with my purpose in this life. So I eat and I drink for purpose. I conversate for purpose. I exchange ideas for purpose. And so when people come with the BS, that doesn't fulfill my purpose. It's not part of my regimen. Their conversation is not part of my diet. So I got to quickly get out of there. That's the swine in the diet. Okay? That's the saturated fats in the diet. That's the trans fats in the diet. Okay? Those are not part. That's not part of the consumption that I need for the day. It's not part of the consumption. You feel me? So I'm not gonna have nobody introduce something into my dietary regimen that's not warranted, that produces too much cholesterol in thought, that produces too much acidity in thought. If you understand my analogy. You feel me? You go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com to get your mentorship. brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You ready to spend your $2,000 to get access to anywhere between 50 grand to 300 grand that you don't have to pay back. You leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready. Leave your full name and your phone number. Initiate your ascension. But the purpose of this program today, not just merely the $2,000 for the service so you get access to your funds. The purpose is for you to understand, don't limit yourself to one stream of income. I always say people should have a minimum of 9 streams of income, and I'm bringing back my 9-stream income course. People have ripped off my courses, sold them for cheaper prices and rebranded it and represent them as their very own. But I'm just happy that the information is being disseminated, even though it's a diluted version of the same. But this shows you the lack of creativity. People steal the content that I produce in my courses, unfollow me, block me, and solicit it as their very own. Like, this is what people do. If I've added tremendous value to you, why can't you just tell people, hey, I learned this information from Brother Polight, I want to share it, and introduce your creativity into the cipher. I don't have a monopoly on the information. Send them to me, or embed your psychology into what I shared, and just give credit if you can. But I'm not going to go on a tirade and mention people's names, because that'd be belittling myself. But I'm just saying, black men, you got to do better. You got to do better. So all of you that keep sending me, yeah, you know, this guy pretty much is selling your program. He just remixed and remastered. It's all right. If you guys know, you know. But I'm not going to go into an all-out war, because the information was really being put out there so people could be empowered. And we understand how flimsy that is. We understand the flu-flam. We know what kind of fish market shit that is. But it is what it is nonetheless. It is what it is nonetheless. But anyway, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number. You're ready to spend $2,000 and change your financial paradigm. Get access to 6 figures you don't have to pay back. Get you a caseworker that's going to deal with your credit exclusively and immediately. Deal with me as your mentor to amass wealth, so I can give you wealth building stratagems that you can employ so when the money comes through, you don't squander it. Get access to the website where you can track your results. Get notifications that you can add to your phone so you can be made abreast of what's going on in real time as we send correspondences out on your behalf, and so you can receive things back in return. Change your lifestyle and ultimately understand this. Don't limit yourself to one stream of income, and start learning how to get paid every day. Stop being paid every week and bi-weekly and by the month and seasonally. Then you ain't got a job at the end of the season. It's time to change your financial paradigm. Stop accepting less, because after a while you become complacent with this, complacent with the idea, and complicit in your own destruction. Complacent with limitation and complicit with your lack of progress. And we all know what retardation means, right? Retardation is the slow down or limit the progress of another or a thing. Look up the word retardation. It has very little to do with the mental health issue that we assume it means, or what is intimated based on mistranslation, misuse of the word. Retardation literally means to slow down the progress of another or a thing. Stop being retarded. Stop suffering from retardation. Stop slowing down your own progress by procrastinating and being afraid. Stop dealing with information and start dealing with outformation. Information is what got us stuck, because we're afraid to think out of the formation that they gave us. I hope you're walking with me. Information versus outformation is the name of this particular program, and that should be your affirmation. Information or outformation? That's our affirmation. Which one are you applying on a day-to-day basis. Because once you start dealing with Outformation, you're going to realize one great idea begets another. First, you over here don't even know what to do with yourself, don't got no plans, no goals, but trust me, once you start trusting yourself, once you start trusting yourself and tapping in to that innate, seldom seen, majestic spirit that dwells within us all, once you start tapping into that potential that information doesn't teach you about, but only Outformation can reveal, one amazing idea towards your progression will beget another amazing idea towards your progression. And this is a complete fact. I left and came back and bro's still cooking. Thank you, man. So you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Change your name if you must. Invoke spirit forces that are in effort to make your life better. See, when people call on Polight, I'm invoking the energies and the forces and the principles associated with pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. So whenever somebody calls on me, even my worst enemy, yeah, Brother Polight, oh, he's the worst, Brother Polight. Whenever someone calls on my name, they're invoking a higher honor in me. My enemy is empowering me. That's the power of names. The words have attributes and energies associated with it. So when someone calls on me, whether they hate me or not, the second they say Polight, they're helping me invoke and remind me. They're invoking energies within myself. They're empowering me to invoke these energies. They're summoning the energies associated, the spirit associated with pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. Even when these Negroes disrespect me, the second they have to summons me by the word brother, it's a contradiction in itself. Because the second you call on me, you recognize me as brother. That's the power in names. And if you should go further, which you will, Brother Polight. Some brother pride, brother optimism, brother love, brother integrity, brother gallant, brother honesty, brother trust. Principles. So hate me or not, you empower me just by saying my name. You put the title in your videos, you empower me. You speak about me, you empower me. This is why I keep ascending. Because even when my enemy calls on me, he or she summons me to a higher endeavor by virtue of the attributes that make up the composition of my name. Because words are our GPS to reality. So there's no, you can't form a weapon against me with a name like mine. Because it's the first thing I got to think of. My name was designed for the purposes of creating a psychic self-defense. So even if someone was looking to destroy me mentally, they would be empowering me inadvertently. I hope you people are walking with me, man. Y'all be walking around with this type of energy and spirit. But like I said, it's dangerous to post all this information. And that sounds spooky, but I'm telling you, it is dangerous. It's dangerous when you start talking on this level. So like I said, I integrate it and I mix it up with the money, with the cars, with the flashiness, with the bedazzle, with the women, the BBLs, the big breasts, voluptuousness. Like, I do this because I'm a scientist and I understand that when I was going hard in the paint, you don't understand the attack on my life, the attack on my business, the attack on my family. When I was just out here on the streets, just banging education, information, going against the different religious institutions, going against the different political powers, getting 20 million views, getting 10 million views, getting 500,000 views. You don't understand. I'm getting more views than is required for votes to become a president. I'm getting more views than makes up the population for your favorite Caribbean island. I'm getting more views than the occupants or inhabitants for countries you've never visited that you want to go to. You don't understand the power of that. If I talk or speak against the pharmaceutical company or industry, if my video does 10 million views, imagine how many people took that video, reposted it for their own benefit to get views, or just to simply share the information on several different platforms, be it YouTube, be it TikTok, be it Threads, be it Instagram, be it Facebook. Imagine how many times I'm seen somewhere without being funded by any major media, just because I simply spoke truth to power and it gets shared thousands of times over. Imagine imagine the pharmaceutical company saying, man, this motherfucker got 20 plus million views by himself, 10 million views by himself, and then everyone else is taking the video, remixing it, putting music behind it, re-uploading it on so many different platforms. I probably hit over 100 million already. If I did 20 million myself on my Facebook, imagine the threat that I am to the pharmaceutical industry. If I do a video that goes viral, that hits 20 million views, do another one that hits 10 million views, imagine the threat that I am. And that's not the only video that goes viral. Imagine how many times I done went diamond for education. Imagine me being smart enough to make monies off of everything I've ever said because I own my audio and it's interpreted as music. So I'm receiving royalties. And this is why I told people years ago, I ain't come out with a song yet. And I made more money off the music industry than the average musician. No one understood it. Because I took charge and claimed right to my intellectual property because Outformation. So every time even someone who hates me uploads my audio, I get a royalty for my audio, whether you hate me or not, because you think you collecting change. You think you collecting change off my name by saying negative things off of me, which you are. And you want to front like you're not using my name so you can make a few coins off of AdSense from YouTube or whatever platform you're using. So even you're adding crazy things to the title and connecting it with my name so you can get more people's interest in the other Negro that's also misrepresenting me. But what you don't realize is you're also helping to pay me every time you use anything that I say. Because I'm collecting music royalties off of my audio. It's this kind of thinking that makes them say we gotta destroy this black man. You have no freaking idea. Every time somebody wants to own their own production company, own a broadcasting station, own people's publishings, every time someone figures something out, they go after that person. I'm telling you, I made more money off of music than your average musician. And I've been saying it for years. I ain't released a song yet. And I made more money off of music than your average rapper, than your average singer, than your average pop artist. And then you got to turn around and say, yo, this motherfucker really 10 million views, 15 million views. Shit, people got more views off of some of my speeches than I do on my own channels. Because I only be using like 2 or 3 channels. And I say that lightly because I barely be on social media like that. I'm on some other shit. Peace, sister. I'm on some other shit, so I'm making money, music royalties off of my speeches. And the rappers are barely making music royalties off their music. What happens when they start tapping into what Brother Polight has to share? And then on the other end of things, I'm turning around and I give that information to my brothers in the industry mouth to ear. Because some information you popularize so much, and then the shit, they create wrenches and all sorts of stuff. But we'll talk about this conversation another time before I get carried away. I'm just saying I'm on some other shit with it. I've been blessed not to go to school. I've been blessed not to go to school. So instead of information, I got Outformation. What's up, King?
I'm a fan of your work.
Oh, thank you, King.
I really
appreciate you,
recognize
guys.
you have to double back.
Hey, no, you good. You ain't interrupting. You right on time, King.
Hey, I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man. Let people show.
All right, good. Now,
Say peace to the people, man.
Hey, how y'all doing, y'all?
Man, thank you for listening, King.
Hey, no problem, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, peace to you, sis. Yeah, I'm on live. Thank you so much, sister, for listening. See? And people will have you think I'm walking these streets scared and hiding, ducking. Yeah, I stay with security and shit too. That's true. But people that have you really thinking, damn, he afraid to come out of his house. Everybody must hate him because of the slander and the rumors and the... Nah, I'm loved. I'm loved. My power and my impact, and that's what they want to destroy because they don't want a black man to be able to walk outside and get the love and the respect of his people just on the strength. Everywhere I walk, everywhere I talk, they don't want that. Just even while we've been on this stream, I'll be giving people pounds and giving people daps, shaking their hand and doing anything. I just only show those two people because their energy Like, let me show those people, but I don't really brag a lot. I'm on my Outformation though. I'm on my Outformation. You feel me? And I'm about to go get me some E3 Live. About to travel about 10 minutes down the block. Give me some E3 Live in West Hollywood. More protein than you're gonna get from your eggs and your chicken breast. Don't let them people fool you. I don't need the same amount of calorie intake that meat eaters would suggest because I'm not eating meat. So therefore my energy is different. I don't need the calorie consumption to produce the energy that I already have access to because the vegetation that I consume. So my calorie deficit and all those mathematics have to be reconstructed, reevaluated for people such as myself. And if you must consume meat and you must consume flesh, you should still holler at me because I can help you limit them 5 meals that you're taking, killing yourself. And all that extra salmon that you eating that's high in estrogen and that extra tuna, all that fatty fish that you taking because you looking to accomplish getting 40 grams of protein real quick. I can help bring you down 2 of those meals out the day, man. And you still can get your gains that you're looking for and make sure for longevity's sake, you don't wind up with prostate cancer and womb cancer and your pectorals start looking like breasts because of the overconsumption of estrogen that you take in from consuming so much fatty fish to get to the grams of protein you're looking for. Yeah, I eat quinoa, but I don't OD on it because the brain still interprets it as sugar. So quinoa is great access to protein, but we eat that in moderation in retrospect to the fact that the brain considers quinoa as sugar as well. So you just got to factor in what other foods are you consuming that the brain interprets as sugar to make sure the brain doesn't interpret you as a crackhead over time. Like if you're eating pastas, potato, bread, rice, then quinoa and corn, then all that shit is sugar, man. So you want to be careful. And then you guys talking about doing 30-day fruit fast, like that's a lot of sugar to be having exclusively to subject your body to exclusively for 30 days. You feel me? We got to be mathematicians and scientists about it. And then what happens is people that hear me say things like this, and then now they want to destroy me, speak evil and wicked about me, but they'll never say, I'm just mad at him because he destroyed my whole philosophy. And I'm not even doing it to attack you. Just go against me in the name of knowledge's sake, and then let people discern amongst themselves what they should do. But I would never use your name and disrespect you because you have a philosophy, or you have an approach, or you have a strategy. I may disagree with it, but I still appreciate you because if you feel like you're adding value to people, then it's great. But if I share information and I properly disseminate this information, and you find yourself in contradiction, but then now you cognitively dissonant because you don't want to let go of the old proposition in light of the truth being presented to you, then you need to do a lot of self-healing. Because what you're doing is more toxic than the food you're attempting to avoid. But this is what I'm telling you. I gain enemies from so many different genres from teaching truth. Because I don't have any specific agenda. This is what I got to explain to you. When you self-made, you have your own monies, then I don't have to hold the truth exclusive for the purposes of making certain amount of money. When you're self-made and you're making your own money from several different streams of income, I don't have to feel insecure about racing neck and neck with another brother or sister because they might be in a genre that's similar to mine, and I have to grow and secure that me and this person got the ear of the community, so I got to find a way to bump this person out the way so I can be the one in front. This ain't no fucking battle rap and hip-hop shit. This is our lives, man. This is our livelihood. So when people are self-developed, self-employed, have control of their own financial paradigm, and find themselves as masters of their own destiny, then you can get an uncompromised truth from them because they're not soliciting the information because they need money desperately, and they need to get this money now, this week, or within this month. I ain't strapped for cash. So when I teach, I could just teach. I ain't part of no religious denomination that gotta collect funds from you to sell our regalia and keep our temple open. I ain't gotta mystify people and tell them that I'm the prophet with all this spooky ass information that they selling to you by way of their Bible, their Torah, their Quran. I ain't part of those institutions. So I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm not looking to keep the church open. I'm not looking to keep the synagogue open. I'm not looking to keep the mosque open. I'm not part of none of that. So when I teach, I just teach to teach. When I teach, I just teach to teach. I ain't selling you no vitamins or no pills or anything. When I teach, I just teach to teach. I don't have no dog in that fight. So all you got to do is just prove the information wrong, and you don't even have to address me directly, because I don't address you guys directly, because again, you guys are not my enemies that mislead people. You might be misled yourself. You feel me? So trust me, religious institutions, the holistic health people, the political people, I got enemies in damn near every category of teaching that all wish me damn dead, because they've built an unhealthy affinity to misinformation, and they don't want to let it go, because behind it is their spook god. Behind it is their political agenda. Behind it is their projections and their insecurities. Behind it is so many different things going on that you'd be surprised who wants to see the destruction of a person who has the information to empower the people. Share this video if it feels good and it's making sense to you. I'm about to go continue to develop myself, because I'm not a man lacking transformation. I'm a man constantly transforming, so I still have to build myself up. I'm still on the quest to perfecting myself. I'm still on the quest to mastering my death so I can achieve life. Because this is death. If you believe in life after death, then that's a testament that this is death, because life comes after. Check? So that, having said that, if you're ready for the mentorship, you know, $2,000 for the service, contact me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your phone number. When you're ready to pay for the service, you'll also get the mentorship. We're going to get busy. We're going to do a little health here and there, because we got to deviate a little bit, because my mind be all over the place. They said I had ADHD, and all I did was I have a mastery of diversity, man. I achieved mastery in so many different things. That's why I got so many different streams of income. So I'm using Outformation. I'm using something they called a dis-ease, because they said I have ADHD. Even one time, dissociative identity disorder. I've been told a lot of crazy shit about me, right? And maybe it's all true. But shit, if I'm thriving more in society than the average person, then maybe we need to all have this type of shit or tap into it. Because it's a dis-ease or discomfort for someone else. I've created a comfort zone with it. I'm not held back. So, you know, hit me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to become a master of your own destiny. Change your financial paradigm. Stop accepting limitation. Get out of information. Tap into Outformation. Become a self-made millionaire. Boost your credit scores. Not just on TransUnion, Equifax, and FICO, but all 30-plus bureaus that have a say and impact on your ability to receive 6 figures without having to pay it back. Get funding for your businesses, because it's crazy that you even have a business or no business and never got funded in your life as a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old is ridiculous. 50-year-old is ridiculous. Tap in. Leave your full name and phone number when you're ready to turn it up. And at the very least, if nothing else, I pray that you've been empowered by something I said. I pray that you deviate from anybody that looks to take you off your course. I pray you do not fall victim to exchanging energy with people who have not yet solidified or asserted their purpose in this death, because life comes after. A lot of people don't have the heart to kill themselves, so they're using you as a medium to destroy themselves in real time. Nobody wants to put the knife to their wrist. Nobody wants to die by drowning. Nobody wants to put themselves in a burning building. Nobody wants to jump off a building. So what better way than to do destructive things to other people and hope those people take us out of our misery? Look at these people who are failing themselves in creativity. Hey, yo, June.